Live on YouTube at Signal Iduna Park. There you go. Me and Baz, check it out. Baz, what a stadium, mate.
Amazing.
What a stadium.
Amazing. Grungy, atmospheric. Just amazing. That's as simple as that.
It is. We're on the terrace at the moment. So, I'll just show you. This is the terrace. With the ultra stand, the yellow wall, and just above that is the rail seating, the safe standing elements of this stand. It's been an absolute incredible trip to watch a couple of games of German football. It's completely different. It's just different kind of football, isn't it?
Like different culture, noise levels, civilised, having a beer while you watch the match. So I just come up on the step. I'll just hang on a step here. Yeah, it's been absolutely brilliant, and to witness it, it's been a pleasure.
Yeah, it's been. It's just different. It's just completely different, isn't it? Like you get in hours before because you've got to if you're in a standing space because you need to get your spec. You can have a beer on the terraces. Then during the game, a guy with a beer thing on his back will come round to the seats and give you a beer, so you don't even have to go anywhere. And it's just completely different. The atmosphere is just. It's so much better, and hopefully Everton can capture some of this, at Bramley Moore Stadium. I really hope anyway, because, well, number one, I think we need to change our culture a little bit and get a better idea of what we want to be as fans going forward, because that's exactly what they've got here. They've got the understanding that it's on the fans, and the fans have the power. We were speaking to a guy before, the guy's looking after us today, and he said the ultras are not happy with last night. They're not happy with the fact that the atmosphere wasn't as good, and it should have been for a big game at the top of the league. And they're going in to see the club now to find out where the tickets are going, who's distributing them, how are so many tourists getting in the ground. And that's really important. Whereas you can't imagine that at a Premier League club. I know we've got a fans forum, but the day after the game saying the atmosphere wasn't good enough, let's do something about it. It would be, first of all, it would be with us, it'd be fans getting in touch with the fans forum, and then a meeting next week, and then another meeting, and then another meeting, and then it might land on someone's desk at the club, and then they'll give it back to the fans forum, and then they'll have another meeting, and you just think, that's not how football's supposed to be. It's supposed to be about us supporting the club. And I don't coming here as being almost like a culture shock to where we're completely going wrong at home. I don't know if we're too far along, but you've got to start it somewhere, haven't you? Step by step.
Most definitely. I mean, I don't know whether I said it on one of the other videos we've done. I'm not sure whether England will ever go back to allowing you to have a beer on the terraces. I mean, I don't know why. If it's in plastic cups, with it's not like you can go anywhere. No.
Don't even allow you to go on the terraces with a bottle top,
with a lid on your bottle. Yeah. But if they could, it'd make a massive difference, because then what you'd have is people who wanted to get in the stadium and stand, because you literally have to, because you can't really leave your space. All right, if there's 3 or 4 of you, then obviously your mates will look after your spec. But if you get in early, you take the atmosphere, you have a couple of beers, you build, the crowd starts singing, and it builds that atmosphere. And that's the biggest thing I've taken away from this trip, is that how involved the clubs are with the supporters. It isn't 2 separate entities, and that for me is that's a big thing.
Yeah. Although you never walk alone wasn't good, does it?
No, that's shite.
Yeah. Although we've been told by the ultras they don't like that song.
No.
They don't like. I know, honestly, we were messing about outside going, not looking forward to that. And one of the guys said, we don't even like that song. It's like, that's a thing we'd get rid of straight away. It's too much of a touristy thing. Yeah. It's a thing for the tourist. and it helps with like the persona of the club. So,
but he is lobbying to get rid of that.
So fantastic! What a place! I'll just spin it round so you can see a little bit of the ground. I mean, the whole place is magnificent, isn't it? What's great is down there you've got the away end on the right. I'll just zoom in on that bit. That's the away end, so that's terraces as well. And on the left, you can't really see, it's in the shade. That's another terrace section, right? That is essentially their boys' pen. That's where kids go to experience being on a terrace. And then when they get old enough, and they want to, and they can come in this terrace. So they can experience it in a more safe environment, and then as they get a little bit older, they can take that experience and bring it into this area here. I mean, that's just mad, isn't it? That just seems mad anyway. I mean, they're saying to their fans, "This is what we want. We're training you to be loud." it's totally alien from what we're used to.
Well, we're so sterile in England, and here. You know, here they're saying to you, listen, we know that it's world renowned, the yellow wall and standing on the terraces, and that's what people like about it. So go over there, cut your teeth in the little section, get used to standing on a wall, and then when you're old enough, come and stand on the yellow wall.
Just looking at a comment there, someone saying about they don't like the idea of being fenced in. I get that. I mean, the way this works is this is you can't just come in this area, by the way, and just stand anywhere. You can stand anywhere you want, but you need a ticket for each particular section. And there's the stewards, they're not heavy-handed at all, but you can't get past them onto this enclosure unless you've got a ticket for this enclosure. And it's the same with the top bit, the rail seats. It's they're in sections, and you need a ticket for every particular section so that it doesn't get overcrowded. And they'll tell you off if you're in the walkways and stuff. So that, you know, that's how they look at it, and it's basically self-policing.
But also the big thing about this particular section is this would never be in England. This would never be brought back. This is something that is allowed in Germany. It's sectioned off. We would never have this. In fact, if Ped just pans around, you can see these metal clips. And for the Champions League game against Spurs next week, they bring in rows of seats and bolt them onto those clasps, because this becomes all seating, and then the likes of these barriers are all taken out, and it has to be ready the day before the Champions League game. Champions League day -1, it's called. That's what they say. All of this is out. Seats put in. It wouldn't be allowed. This will never be brought back into England. The rail seating is totally different. Take over, mate. But it is. It's totally different.
It is.
It isn't like this.
It is. There you go.
You know, that again. That's another, just getting up on a step. So I'm standing on a box for anyone asking. And that's another big difference. It wouldn't be like this section where we are now. It would be the higher section, and you're not hemmed in anywhere. In fact, Dortmund scored 3 times yesterday. We were stood here with 25,000 people. Dortmund scored 3 times. We weren't moved by anybody. We were moved by ourselves, jumping up when they scored, or clapping. But no, there was no sway, no one pushed or nothing, because it's so well put together.
Yeah. So there you go. I'll just give you the last look. The guys are on there mowing the lawns. They took all the boards out taking all the boards out around the side of the pitch, all the advertisement boards, and they're getting it ready for the game against Spurs next week. I think they're away on Friday, and they're getting it ready. So it's an incredible place to watch football. I'll be back soon. I'd encourage you to be back. And if I just come down here, boom! There you go.